He said, what's up,
Gunna said Drilly Jeesley.
What's up, Gunna?
What's up, D Gunna?
Dream told me the plan and I say I'm with it. We jumped in the car and went straight to the riches. Yeah, we went straight to the riches. He told me this one gon' bust both of our wrists. I told him he playing, he says no gimmicks. I told him let's get it. I told him let's get it like.
Yo, Gengi, you give life a new meaning when you dreaming this shit, boy. Dream. Feel me? We back with another one. How the Drilly gang unleash hell on the Bronx. I ain't know they were doing damage like that, but let's tap in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me get the 5K, Gengi. Let's get to the vibes.
What's your definition of a gangster?
We don't really use that word.
Nigga, Justin, are you running? You get away from the car.
This gang conducted wolf pack-like searches, shots fired outside of schools during dismissal, with young individuals 10 or under running for cover.
Cops tell us many of the alleged gang members are rappers in the drill music scene who challenge their rivals in their lyrics.
You died? You coward.
Crazy. It's unfair.
Many years ago, the Bronx was one of the best places to live in America. Books written in the late 1930s described it as nothing short of amazing. The Grand Concourse, a major street in the borough, was known as the Park Avenue of middle-class Bronx residents, and the New York City subway system was called the safest in the world. Today, things have changed. The concourse and much of the Bronx is now known for rampant crime and poverty. Modern-day gangs that inhabit the Bronx and New York City play a role in this urban decay. Today we will look into the case of one such gang with a drill rap connection, the G-Side/Drilly gang. The Drillys are a blood-affiliated gang who are based in the Norwood section of the Bronx, near the Williamsbridge Oval. They were one of the first gangs to introduce drill rap to the Bronx in early 2020. This was spearheaded by their alleged founder, Taboo Harris aka Spaz Drilly. During this period, the Drillys were allied with the YG's gang, and according to law enforcement, they acted to enrich themselves by any means necessary, and attacked their rivals with no mercy. Authorities allege that starting in March 2019, the Drillys and their allies began targeting historic buildings in the North Bronx and finding vacant apartments in them to turn into trap houses and bases for their drug operation. Many of these buildings were built in the beginning of the 20th century and were once a symbol of elegance and comfort for middle-class families, but as the Drillys and their associates took control of them, they turned into what can only be described as hellholes. One of these buildings was 2685 Valentine Avenue, a 5-story building which was built in 1924. It is alleged that drug dealers, including famous Drilly member and rapper Ali Doby, aka Lee Drilly, took over numerous apartments in the building. According to the DOJ, these apartments were used to store and manufacture drugs such as cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These drugs were often sold in the lobby of the building, and the dealers frequently prevented residents of the building, including families with children, from safely entering. Another building that the Drillys took over was 3339 Hull Avenue, which they used to traffic even more crack. This will become important later. As their operation grew, the Drillys were playing a part in the massive drug epidemic that has ravaged major cities across America, feeding scores of emotionally disturbed, drug-addicted people.
I don't have an ID, so I can't give you a ticket.
I got my name on my court paper.
What was that court paper for?
I got it.
Decent exposure. Yeah, he's a
In addition to selling drugs, the Drillys allegedly brutally robbed people to enrich themselves. On January 9, 2019, 4 Drilly members approached an 18-year-old CUNY prep student as he left school and demanded his winter jacket. When he refused, it is alleged that they stabbed and beat him mercilessly. The 18-year-old was seriously injured and required emergency resuscitation and life-saving blood transfusions. The jacket was now worthless because, well, they stabbed the victim through it and it was covered in blood. Starting in 2020, as their drug operations were active in full force, the Drillys also intensified a war against rivals of them and their alliance with the YGs. Possibly emboldened by the conditions of the pandemic, they repeatedly shot at their rivals across parts of the Bronx with no regard for civilian life. According to authorities, they accidentally shot at least 3 innocent bystanders during this campaign of violence, including a 66-year-old woman. On July 20, 2020, 6 alleged Drilly members approached reputed gang member James Rivera, aka Lil Lock, as he was leaving his girlfriend's home on the corner of 209th Street and Decatur Avenue. Among the Drilly members present in this group of 6 was none other than the gang's leader, Taboo Harris, aka Spaz Drilly. The Drilly members knew that Rivera was a rival of theirs, and decided that now was the time to deal with him. Rivera only
look at Lee Drilly though. Look at Lee Drilly, that's crazy.
Was a rival of theirs, and decided that now was the time to deal with him. Rivera only had a knife on him, and so he ran. The Drilly members chased him and shot at him an absolutely astounding number of times. Rivera was hit repeatedly and collapsed on the pavement, but the Drillys weren't done yet. One of the gang members picked up Rivera's knife from the floor and tried to stab him with it. James Rivera died before he could even reach the hospital. Obviously, his rivals were extremely happy to hear the news, and his name began to get frequently mentioned in Bronx drill songs as he was dissed, and his death was mocked. One of the rappers dissing him was none other than Ali Doby, aka Lee Drilly.
Make that boy disappear like it's magic. Drillys on corn, we score in a basket. Lil Lo got put in a casket, spin with a knife and that nigga got blasted.
The songs that Lee Drilly was releasing at his peak in 2021 were gaining millions upon millions of views and making him a viral sensation. Back at the drug dens the Drillys were operating in the North Bronx, gang members began to get increasingly paranoid as the NYPD was hot on their tails. On March 21, 2021, in 3339 Hull Avenue, one of the buildings the Drillys had partially took over, several members were present inside an apartment trap house, late into the night. Also in that apartment was a young woman named Delilah Vasquez. Delilah was not a gang member herself, but she was a girl who was friends with many Drilly and YG's members, including famous artists such as D-Thang G's from RPT. For whatever reason, she associated very closely with them.
Drilly Jeesley. Drilly. Talk
got
your
the
shit.
little baby throwing this shit up, bro.
Drilly. Talk your shit. Tell him what's up.
He said,
D-Gunna said Drilly Jeesley. What's up, Gunna? What's up, D-Gunna?
Delilah was also known to often get into altercations and disputes with other girls in the neighborhood, sometimes on Facebook, but generally she always thought of the Drillys as being her close friends. One of the Drilly members who she was with in that apartment was a suspected transgender known as PW Jet aka Precious Williams. Detective Mike Delgado of the NYPD details what happened next.
Delilah Vasquez was she was a 20-year-old female. She was actually friends with them, and when she went into the apartment, it was a trap house. So you know, trap house is it's where they usually congregate. It's a vacant apartment, and typically they would deal drugs or whatnot out of there. She was in the.
Let me know again. Y'all think they set her up because the Drillys and the YGs fuck with each other? Feel me? D-Thang and Lee Drilly fuck with each other. So I'm confused. Like, why would they do this to her? Like, yeah, I think. Let me know how y'all feel.
That she was shot. When the police get there, Delilah was actually still alive, and she had a bullet wound right in center forehead.
Do you think she was targeted?
I mean, we can't say that right now. Again, that's still, the investigation is still ongoing. So those individuals, though, that were in that apartment, and again, we tracked them with video up and down the street. So those individuals were arrested for that.
She was miraculously still alive, but after being transported to Jacobi Hospital, she later died. What happened in that apartment is still one of the biggest mysteries in the history of the present-day NYC gang war. But one thing is clear, the NYPD believes that PW Jet was the likely trigger puller. If so, the question of why her own friends did this to her remains unanswered. Afterwards, Drilly affiliates would threaten the mother of Vasquez non-stop, forcing her to move out of her own home in fear of her safety.
Yeah, they ain't fuck with her for some reason.
In 2022, the NYPD was closing in, and Detective Michael Delgado was on the case. Him, along with federal authorities, were seeking to bring down the enterprises of the Drillys and their associates once and for all. Delgado and the NYPD were looking at and connecting all of the Drillys' acts of violence along with their social media taunting. In the case of the murder of James Rivera, aka Lil Lock, Delgado's team had already identified 4 of the suspects, including Drilly leader Taboo Harris, aka Spaz Drilly, Richard Santiago, aka Swift, and Nasir Carter, aka Nas 4T, but they could not initially get a proper ID of one of the men. As Delgado and his team listened to drill rap videos released by the Drillys, one song stuck out to them, that was Final Destination by Lee Drilly. While Lee Drilly obviously dissed Lil Lock, who was his rival, there was just one problem.
Lil Lo got put in a casket, spin with a knife and that nigga got blasted. Spin with a knife and that nigga got blasted. Spin with a knife and that.
But that's still not like pinpointing Lee Drilly though, like unless they didn't know, like unless this is like brand new news though, like at the time, feel me? But if niggas in the street already knew about that, you can't pinpoint that to the Drillys, nigga. We know about the drop. Nigga had a knife on him, nigga tried to run, he got blasted. What the fuck that gotta do with me? Feel me? They can't use lyrics against people though, because he not saying nothing wrong. He just dissing the nigga though. Don't have nothing to do with him.
With a knife and that nigga got blasted. Spin with a knife and that nigga got blasted. Spin with a knife and that. Spin with a knife.
What do you mean by that?
Not one single news article or public record ever mentioned anything about James Rivera having a knife during the incident. Delgado took another look at the surveillance video of the murder, and suddenly...
That's how he fucked up, because it was new. Okay, see? I'm here with y'all. It was news.
It was clear. He believed that the man that picked up the knife was none other than Lee Drilly himself. Of course, as he states, other important corroborating evidence was found that links him to the murder, but they zeroed
Pete, because how would you know he has a knife? Feel me? That's tough. That's tough. Only Lee Drilly would know. Or whoever, feel me, picked up the knife and did what they had to do and started telling people only that get okay.
in on Lee Drilly as a suspect because of his song lyrics. The Bronx DA indicted the Drilly gang in state court for their alleged violent crimes on April 27, 2022, arresting 20 members and seizing 18 firearms. Lee Drilly was charged for his role of the murder of Lil Lock, and PW Jet was charged for her role in the murder of Delilah Vasquez. PW Jet was also charged with drug possession and manslaughter, as detectives are still struggling to piece together what precisely happened in that apartment. Spaz Drilly, the leader of the Drillys, was also hit with murder and conspiracy charges. Not long after this, the Department of Justice also federally indicted Drilly members and associates including Lee Drilly on separate federal drug trafficking and gun charges. In December, Lee Drilly pleaded guilty to his role in this, while his state murder case remains open. As all this was happening, the drill rap videos that chronicled this gang war gained millions of more views, and the money and record deals that came with them became even more desirable to some young...
Wait, why he plead guilty to that though? They must got him on some shit with that to plead guilty. It's the feds too, so you know they probably got some shit. You think one of them niggas was talking? There's like at least 10 of them niggas on that bitch. You think one of them niggas was talking? Sheesh, these niggas know too much, boy. Ooh.
Lee Drilly pleaded guilty to his role in this, while his state murder case remains open. As all this was happening, the drill rap videos that chronicled this gang war gained millions of more views, and the money and record deals that came with them became even more desirable to some young men in the Bronx. As the Drillys were taken down, at least temporarily, a power vacuum was created in the Norwood, Gun Hill neighborhood where they are based, and it is yet to be seen what will happen next.
Nah, it's tough, man. But yo, let me know how y'all feel, man. Put how y'all feel in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep putting me on to new things, man. And y'all already know the vibes, man. You give life a new meaning when you dreaming. It's your boy Drillly, and I'm out of here, gangy.
Fake niggas, we don't do those. Fake niggas, we don't do those. Heart cold, heart cold.